making child pornography with 2 children, the charges he's facing, and the nonprofits working to help victims of abuse.
Plus, Beaumont ISD superintendent responds after the TEA's commissioner addressed a possible district takeover. Why Dr. Allen says she was shocked.
And check your freezer, the recall over shrimp sold at Walmart that suggests that they might be radioactive. 12 News Daybreak starts now.
Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. Your time 7:01. So let's go ahead and get a first look at your weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber. And here's a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Skycam network above Jasper. Looks like that sun just hidden behind that cloud right there. But I'll leave all that forecasting to Jeff to tell us what we're actually seeing out there. Jeff, how's it looking out there this morning?
That was the sun.
Okay.
You are correct.
Yes. I'm not a meteorologist.
No, but I think we can all identify the sun.
Not me.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Learn something every day.
That's why we got you, Jeff.
Here are current temperatures, and right now we're in the middle 70s. 76 in Kirbyville and Orange, 77 in Silsbee, 77 in Port Arthur, and then 73 in Jasper. So not too bad walking out the door. It's warm, it's humid, and that right there, Mark, that is the sun.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I figured you'd like that. Here's the view from the Horseman's Western Store. And then we head downtown from Packer La Prairie. And we have a few clouds, high clouds out there. Temperatures generally in the 70s, showing 80 downtown right now. Our forecast for today, calling for highs in the middle 90s. It's going to be hot, humid, and we'll also see a chance for some rain. Now, it's going to be after, say, 2 or 3 o'clock. We'll see about a 40-50% coverage of scattered showers and thunderstorms lingering into the evening. So make sure you have the umbrella for late in the day.
All right, Jeff, a federal judge has sentenced a Beaumont man to prison for trafficking fentanyl. Yesterday, 33-year-old Marcel Davis pled guilty to possession with intent to distribute. He was caught selling fentanyl back in 2023, and investigators searched his house on Pinchback Road, and they say that's where they say they found the drug. According to Beaumont police, an elderly woman and toddler, they were there at that time of that search. Davis, he was sentenced to more than 2 years in prison.
Meanwhile, testimony will continue today in the trial of a Port Arthur man accused of child sex crimes. Joshua Mendez is charged with indecency with a child and attempted sexual assault of a child. Court documents allege he was caught trying to assault a child younger than 5 in 2023. If convicted, he could face up to 30 years for both charges. Now, crimes against kids are traumatizing, but in Southeast Texas, there are a number of organizations like Garth House that step in to help.
Yeah, there's also national organizations that work with police to find accused predators. Now, 12 News reporter Cameron Burchett, she spoke with both of these groups following yet another troubling case.
These are my private parts. No one should touch them.
It's a familiar tune with meaningful lyrics.
I will tell my mother. I will tell my father.
A teacher is going viral for a song that teaches them about body safety. An important conversation Garth House Executive Director Marion Tanner says kids need to hear.
We were taught stranger danger, but now probably 85 to 95% of the cases is someone that they know, they love, they trust.
The Beaumont nonprofit helps victims affected by sexual abuse and other violent crimes.
These children needed to understand that they didn't cause whatever happened to them.
Edward Hoffman of Vidor is in the Montgomery County Jail facing charges related to child sex crimes. Investigators say his victims are both under 7 years old. An arrest affidavit obtained by 12 News accuses him of sending child sex abuse material, or CSAM, to an undercover Montgomery County Sheriff's Office detective in June. Investigators traced his digital footprint back to Orange County, where he was arrested by Orange Police Department that same day.
From my understanding, there was an investigation happening and he sent CSAM to somebody who is an undercover law enforcement and he didn't realize it.
Rue Powell is the CEO of Safe from Online Sex Abuse, or SOSA. The nonprofit combats online child sexual abuse and human trafficking through undercover operations with law enforcement.
We'll do an undercover operation, but we'll also help them if they get a cyber tip for CSAM.
Sheriff Bobby Smith says Hoffman will eventually be extradited back to Orange County to face more charges. In the meantime, the Garth House says they will continue to serve Southeast Texas families.
We don't want those children to feel and to grow up victimized.
In Beaumont, Cameron Burchett, 12 News.
All right, now to a major recall this morning. Frozen shrimp sold in 13 states, including Texas. It might be radioactive. Well, the FDA says that the shrimp in question, they were sold at Walmart. Cesium-137, that's that radioactive element. It was detected in shipping containers and frozen shrimp products at 4 U.S. ports. The products, they were processed by a company out of Indonesia called BMS Foods. The FDA says that if you've recently bought the Great Value brand raw frozen shrimp from Walmart, be sure to throw it away immediately. It has a best buy date of March of 2027.
In Beaumont, district parents and board members now have a better idea what's next for the district. Superintendent Dr. Shannon Allen held breakfast and dinner Q&A sessions yesterday morning. It was part of the district's Breaking Bread Building Futures program. During breakfast, Dr. Allen addressed comments made by TEA Commissioner Mike Morath while he was visiting Evadale ISD Monday. She says she's appalled that he didn't come speak to her.
I'm thinking, man, the commissioner was right down the street. He didn't come see me. Wow. He didn't come and talk to me. And we're making comments about Beaumont ISD. I was shocked. I really was.
State Board of Education member Julie Pickering told us Monday the state has offered support to BISD. She said the district, quote, declined the help that the state has been offering.
Meanwhile, in Port Arthur, students also struggling with test scores there, but the new principal at Memorial High School says that she has a plan. That district receiving a D rating from the TEA. Dr. Angel Murphy, the principal there at Memorial, is actively working with Region 5 at the state level to train up teachers through the Texas Instructional Leadership Program. The education, that starts with administrators who then coach teachers. Dr. Murphy says the school enrolled in the program after receiving its STAR test scores, and she says that they were low in part because they didn't have enough certified teachers on campus.
There were a lot of substitute teachers at the campus. So, of course, a substitute teacher doesn't receive any real training. We do appreciate every sub that comes and services our student, but they cannot give the students the type of instruction that a certified, trained teacher is able to give to.
According to Dr. Murphy, the entire high school currently only has one long-term substitute. She also vows to crack down on the student dress code.
6 Southeast Texas high schools are getting a boost for their football programs. Bridge City, Orangefield, Warren, Westbrook, Evadale, and Jasper high schools each won $5,000 grants. It's all thanks to T-Mobile's Friday night 5G Lights competition. The program supports rural schools, giving them money for equipment, uniforms, and travel expenses.
And new students at Lamar University, they're getting ready for their official welcome to the university today from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Montaigne Center. The university is going to host its annual WOW student convocation and class photo. It's a must-attend event for all new students. They're going to hear from the university president, Dr. Jaime Taylor, and other campus leaders. Then they're going to join their fellow Cardinals on the football field for the class photo.
Money Matters, sponsored by Gulf Credit Union.
All right, it was a double whammy over those viral Labubu dolls. It has the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission putting out an urgent warning.
Not only are knockoff plushes and keychains known as Lafufus flooding the market, they pose a choking risk for children. The agency says they're small enough to fit in a child's mouth and block their airway. They can also break easily, creating smaller pieces that can become a choking hazard. Consumers are advised to stop buying the counterfeit products. They're often sold at a big discount and without an authentic Pop Mart sticker or QR code. Time now 7:09. When it comes to credit card debt, if you keep carrying it from month to month, you could be financially stuck for years.
Yeah, ABC's Melissa Don, she has more on debt management options.
Credit card debt is not always the result of extravagant living. Ted Rossman, senior industry analyst at Bankrate, says oftentimes paying for necessities pushes people into debt.
Emergency expenses are number one. That's going to include medical bills, car repairs, home repairs, things like that. The second biggest answer is day-to-day expenses, groceries, gas, other things that may outpace your paycheck.
Rossman says it's important to address your credit card debt as soon as possible.
If you owe that average amount, which is a little over $6,000, minimum payments at 20% keep you in debt for 18 years and cost you more than $9,000 in interest.
So how do you pull yourself out of debt? Rossman says taking inventory of card balances and interest rates is an important first step. Then consider your options. There is the snowball method, paying the smallest balances first and then tackling the bigger ones. There's also the avalanche method, paying off cards with the highest interest rates first, no matter the balance. And there are other actions you can take to help make your payments more manageable, like transferring your balance to a credit card with a promotional 0% interest rate to keep your outstanding amount from increasing. Consolidating multiple balances into one personal loan with a lower interest rate could also save you money in the long run. Or checking out reputable nonprofit credit counseling companies like Money Management International can help. They work with creditors on lowering interest rates and monthly payments, and in some situations, they can even negotiate a lower one lump sum settlement. Making these moves may come with fees and taxes or impact your credit score, so do the math to decide the best path for you. And be patient. Getting out of the red takes time and discipline. Melissa Don, ABC News.
Still ahead here on Daybreak, a new way to get fast-tracked through airport security, the pros and cons of the new TSA e-gates. Also next, a starfish off the coast of Argentina is catching attention for its, shall we say, curves. Your trending news is coming up.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I wouldn't say that I was like a partier, but I would say that I was a social butterfly. So we would just always drink. That night, I went through a red light and I T-boned another vehicle. And I just remember thinking like, oh no. Right after the DWI, I lost my license and I did 30 days in jail. I could have killed him because I decided to be reckless. I have a ton of regrets. I'm Katie. 5 years ago, I got a DWI and I'm still paying for it every day.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn here with one of the most important hurricane tips, having an evacuation plan. First, gather food, water, and medicine before storing it in an emergency kit. Plan well in advance where you're going, how you'll get there, and if you'll need to transport any pets, small children, or the elderly. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
And if you're traveling for summer's final hurrah, it may be a bit cheaper this year. According to AAA, domestic round-trip flights, they're going to be 6% cheaper this Labor Day weekend compared to last year. You can expect an average cost of around $720 a ticket. Now, data also shows hotel rates are lower and car rentals are cheaper as well compared to last year. AAA says that gas prices, they should stay low as well. And as many prepare to fly out for Labor Day, a new partnership could help you get to your flight faster. But does the convenience come at too high of a cost? ABC's Lionel Moyes explains.
This morning, a new way to fast track through airport security as airports get busier. Clear is now partnering with the TSA to launch new e-gates for Clear Plus members. Travelers will no longer have to show IDs to TSA officers, instead verifying their identity using a biometric scanner.
You don't even need to scan your boarding pass. The scanners see your face and they recognize you via biometrics. And so once the gate turns green, you can proceed through. You go straight to baggage screening. So it saves you a ton of time potentially.
The program is already up and running in Atlanta's airport, with Seattle and Washington Reagan next, before expanding to other cities.
The idea is that eventually you'll be able to just go through a threshold. There'll be no interaction with a human at all, and you go straight to baggage screening. So I think this is going to be a real time saver.
Some have raised concerns about using biometric data.
I think it's going to be great for those folks who don't have worries about privacy, who just want to get through the airport quickly.
This comes at a time when travel is booming. TSA reports 7 of its 10 busiest travel days ever were this year alone, and next year millions will travel for soccer's World Cup here in the U.S. and the country's 250th birthday. The new e-gates join other options available to flyers to get through security faster. TSA PreCheck, which is free for military members, is already at more than 200 airports, and 15 U.S. airports now have a touchless ID version of TSA PreCheck using facial recognition. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I was looking at something. I was looking at the latest on the hurricane. I was reading up on it. Let's take a look at temperatures outside right now. And basically looking at temperatures into the middle 70s. 76 in Kirbyville, 76 in Orange, 77 in Silsbee and Port Arthur, and then 73 in Jasper. As we take a look outside, we have just some high-level clouds out there. Nothing on radar. A few clouds, that's about it. Our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network from Lake Charles, and you can see Port of Lake Charles over there looking pretty dry for this morning. There are some showers and thunderstorms. Watching a few just to our north. There's some rain up towards Shreveport that's going to try to drift off towards the south and west, and there's some scattered showers up near the Red River Valley. A couple of showers down towards the Gulf of Mexico, but nothing in the immediate area. Really not expecting anything until possibly later on this afternoon. Futurecast shows dry weather through the morning. We'll be climbing through the 80s. We'll be up into the lower to middle 90s for highs today, and this is where Futurecast really starts to show us showers and thunderstorms. Is really after about 3-4 o'clock and into the early evening. That's when we'll see our best coverage around 50%. Things should die down as we head towards 10 o'clock, and then overnight, maybe a couple of isolated showers left over. It looks like it's going to be fairly dry overnight as we go back into the 70s. Here's Hurricane Erin. I was just looking at the latest on Erin, and doesn't look like it was as strong as it was yesterday, that's for sure. Winds are at 100, moving to the north-northwest at about 13. It's going to be tracking a little bit north and then eventually off towards the north and east as it maybe strengthens slightly over the next 24 hours, and then it weakens as it heads towards the cooler waters of the North Atlantic. Staying enough off the east coast that they won't be feeling the winds from this, but definitely going to be seeing some high surf from that storm. 60% chance of this little disturbance developing into a possibility of a tropical system. It's going to stay out in the Atlantic. The next one behind it, 30% chance of development. We'll have to wait and see. It's way out there. I'll keep you updated. Our forecast for today, partly sunny, 50% coverage of scattered showers and thunderstorms, temperatures in the middle 90s, and then for tonight, back down into the middle 70s, about a 30% chance of a couple of showers overnight. Our 7-day forecast shows high rain chances again on Thursday, about 40% on Friday, and then after that, we have actually a front coming into the area, bringing some drier air, so we're going to shut our rain chances all the way back to about 20% for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, with highs there into the middle 90s for the weekend.
That hurricane off the coast, it always looks huge when it gets up next to the shoreline like that, or close to it, I should say. I mean, just the proportion there on the radar.
I was looking at the how far out the hurricane winds push out from the center. It's about 100 miles from the center, which is a pretty good storm.
Sure.
Tropical storm force winds are over 200 miles out from the center. So in that alone, that's a pretty good sized hurricane. Typically with a strong hurricane, they might only be out 20 or 30 miles from the center as far as hurricane force, and maybe 100 miles from the center. So it's a pretty large storm as far as the tropical storm force winds.
Okay, well. All right, well, thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, you bet.
And a reminder, 12 News, we're going to start handing out our Golden Apple Awards soon, so we need you to send in your nominations. It can be a teacher or anyone in the field of education. Nominate at 12newsnow.com/goldenapple. And it's 7:20 right now. Time for some trending news. And there's a mystery brewing around Putin's visit to Alaska last week.
A man in Bird Creek, Alaska, says he got a surprise gift from the Russian president, and he has no idea why. Mark Warren says a couple weeks ago, he was riding his Ural motorcycle, a brand named after a Russian mountain range, when Russian state journalists approached him asking about the bike. A week later, they called to say his story went viral in Russia. They called again days later saying they had a new motorcycle for him, a gift from President Putin. Oh, yeah. I wonder if it's real.
I think it's a Trojan horse.
It's. I don't think
He's like, it was a note. Head to Washington, D.C. with this.
Right. Like, what? All right. A cheeky creature has become the star of an underwater exploration.
Yeah, you probably never thought you'd see a starfish with a big old backside. But here we are. Look at that. What's that say in the lower third? Badonkadonk? Yep, right there. This image became the highlight of the first ever live stream of a voyage into the Mar del Plata Canyon. That's just off the coast of Argentina. The Patrick Star look-alike may have stolen the show, but explorers found lots of cool and quirky creatures out there. More than 17 million people tuned in to see this live stream. So cool.
Really doing squat day, huh?
Yes, he is. Didn't miss those glutes. All right. It's the cream cheese controversy that's got the internet buzzing.
TikTok influencer Valentina recently posted a video calling out Bella's Bagels in New Jersey after she got a bagel with a whole block of cream cheese on it. Her video racked up 25 million views while the shop tried to defend how they spread the cream cheese. The real issue was the amount. Valentina asked, "Did you just cut a block of Philadelphia cream cheese in half and slap it on there?" It didn't look like they just slapped that on there.
It looked like they were in a rush. It's certainly cheesy, that's for sure.
Well, and then the bagel was thick too, though. You know.
You know, it's, to me, you know, bagel, you just slide some cream cheese on it. Even a lot, but that was a lot. That was like 5 bagels worth right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Take that home and save it.
All right, guys. Time right now 7:22. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside. From our Roofing 911 Skycam network, Jeff Gerber will return with your forecast.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business. Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan, kind, courteous, and safe.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip. Stay connected. Sign up for free emergency alerts from your local county and plan on to monitor the latest local weather and news at 12newsnow.com. Being aware of any new information will be invaluable. And finally, know the types of alerts you may receive. A watch means be prepared, while a warning means act. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Hundreds of people packed the Beaumont Civic Center last night to eat good food for a good cause. The 23rd annual Tasting for Some Other Place had brought dozens of food vendors together to help some other place continue its mission to help people in need. Now, we are told that they sold around 1,200 tickets.
It's the only annual fundraiser that the nonprofit has throughout the year.
I think it's just seeing everybody here and knowing that they're supporting some other place, and that it goes beyond that, because it's like we have our back to school, and then we have what we call Thanksgiving store.
Says they had 46 vendors, with 7 new vendors showing up this year.
Quick look at our coastal marine forecast for today. We're looking at north to southwesterly wind at 5 to 10 knots, seas about a foot. Mostly smooth on the inland lakes and bays today. Watch out for some late day showers and thunderstorms. Our next high tide is going to be 11:52 this morning, and then we'll not see another one until tomorrow. Water temperature at 89 in the Gulf, with a west and northwesterly wind at about 7 right now, gust to about 8. Our sunsets at 7:52 for this evening. At the bus stop this morning, if you're still running out to catch the bus, it's warm and humid out there. Temperatures in the middle to upper 70s, 90 at recess, and then there might be a few isolated showers on the way home, with temperatures into the middle to lower 90s.
All right, Jeff, coming up here in the 7 o'clock hour on Daybreak on 12 News Plus, the Town Hall State Representative Christian Manuel held last night in Beaumont to face voters a day after returning from Chicago.
Plus, a viral TikTok prank turns dangerous. The warning from police after 3 Texas teens were shot at for kicking down someone's door.
And the first ever at-home flu vaccine is now available for delivery. All the details ahead of flu season.
And your time right now, 7:26, taking a live look at the skies of Lake Charles right now. We'll be right back with more news and weather in just a few minutes.
Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. Your time now is 7:30. Let's take a look at your top stories this morning. A 20-year-old from Baytown was killed yesterday in a crash on Highway 124 in southwest Jefferson County. It happened around 3 p.m. not far from Hampshire. DPS says Garrett Emery's Ford Explorer veered off the highway and hit a tree near Bill Galding Road. He died at the scene. Officials haven't said what caused the SUV to run off the road.
Several people they're in the hospital after a crash involving a Ford Explorer and a West Orange Cove CISD school bus. Thankfully, no students were hurt, but everyone in the SUV went to the hospital, according to our crew at the scene. This happened around 3:30 yesterday at the intersection of 16th and Lincoln and Orange. Superintendent Dr. Alicia Sigui says that a driver of the SUV failed to yield.
A Silsbee student caused a scare yesterday when they brought an empty BB gun to Edwards Johnson Memorial Middle School. Campus officers and administrators brought it in the student. No threats were made, but the district says it'll take disciplinary action as needed.
And the Newton County Sheriff's Office has a new drone that is equipped with thermal imaging. It's going to help deputies during search and rescue operations, manhunts, and other emergencies, especially at night. A Sheriff's Office captain is already certified to fly it.
Let's take a live look outside now from our Roofing 911 Skycam network. Meteorologist Jeff Gerber standing by with your forecast.
And yeah, we're looking at some sunshine out there for this morning, filtered out by a little bit of cloud cover. Temperatures once again in the 70s to start off. 73, one of the cooler spots on the map up towards Jasper, 75 in Kirbyville, then 76 in Orange, 77 right now in Silsbee and Port Arthur. As we take a look at downtown with our Pack of the Parade camera, currently showing 81 degrees now downtown on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Humidity at 80% with a little bit of a north wind. We'll see north winds today between about 5 and 10 miles per hour. You can see a few clouds, but that's about it. Nothing on radar for this morning. Not expecting anything until maybe late in the afternoon into this evening. We'll go as high as 50% coverage for late today. So better chance of rain than we saw yesterday. Yesterday we didn't see much at all. It's going to be hot and humid with 95 for an actual temperature. Be more like 105 as far as the heat index. So make sure you stay hydrated and take some breaks if you're going to be out in the heat before we hopefully catch a little bit of rain to cool us down late in the day.
Who's ready to tear up this slip? Let's go!
Developing at the Capitol, more Texas Democrats opted for a sleepover last night in the House chambers. They tore up the permission slip they needed to leave, refusing to give state troopers consent to follow them. Meanwhile, some of the people who gathered to show support for the Democrats were forced out of the Capitol. Part of the grounds were evacuated due to a possible security threat. The protesters continued their rally outside. State Representative Christian Manuel spent the day here in Jefferson County agreeing to extra security detail.
Yeah, 12 News reporter Spencer Plato, she has more on the message that he shared last night during a town hall in Beaumont.
A crowd gathered at the Jefferson County Democratic Party office for a town hall hosted by Representative Christian Manuel. He says breaking quorum wasn't about the politics, but for the good of the community.
When they asked, how did I feel? I said, come and take it.
State Representative Christian Manuel was welcomed back to his district with applause.
We support him as the Democratic Party, and we've been praying for him, and we're so glad that he made it back safely.
Manuel met Democrats a day after the House gavelled in for the start of the new second special session. Tuesday was an off day, but he promises to be back at the Capitol Wednesday.
We're going to be fighting on the floor to try to see if there's any way we can possibly stop these maps. It doesn't look like that's something that's going to happen, but we're going to be putting up a fight against that.
Republican leaders say they are done playing political games.
Let me also be clear about where we go from here. We are done waiting. We have a quorum. Now is the time for action. We will move quickly.
Democrats who left the Capitol signed forms, agreeing to having state troopers escort them.
So I had one that followed me from there, and then there's local state troopers here that are following me here, and they take shifts and then kind of just a round robin until I go back.
Supporters say they're glad the Democrats put up a fight.
He didn't just do that for himself. He did that for the love of the people. He truly has a love for the people of this area, and we appreciate that so much.
And lawmakers, they are expected back in Austin this morning. Manuel says that he's going to be there on the floor voting against these congressional maps.
The Democrats spent 2 weeks out of state, and for Representative Manuel, the trip came at a cost. Last Friday, state troopers started doing surveillance at the house he shares with his 95-year-old grandmother. She says she feared for her grandson and his constituents.
I felt Christian had a job to do. I felt America has a job to do. I felt my community have a job to do. And I felt that we have to brave up sometime.
Manuel and the other Democrats face $7,500 in fines for their time away.
Happening this morning, Texas state senators are going to hear from some of the parents who lost loved ones at Camp Mystic. They're going to speak in front of the Disaster Preparedness and Flooding Select Committee. Lawmakers are considering Senate Bill 1. That's going to include safety measures at youth camps across Texas. Testimony for that's going to begin at 10 a.m. this morning.
Across Texas this morning, a serious warning from investigators surrounding a viral TikTok prank. It involves kids and teens going up to someone's door and kicking it. It's similar to ding-dong ditching, but it can be scarier for the homeowners. Not only can it frighten them, it can also have dangerous consequences. In one North Texas neighborhood, 3 teens were shot at after police say they kicked the homeowner's door.
He ran out into a street, fired shots into a vehicle as it was coming his direction, and then as it had already passed him, it was a mother that felt the need to record it as well, make sure that connect the dots. The kids did not want to report it because, certainly they were out doing these pranks.
The homeowner is now charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault because police say he went beyond self-defense.
All right, it was a giant act of theft that's left Michigan students learning from home today. Now, around 20 school buses, they were targeted at a Michigan City area school's parking lot where thieves stole catalytic converters from nearly a third of the bus fleet there. It made it impossible to run the bus service, forcing the district to switch to remote learning. A mother of 4 sharing her frustration over the sudden change. She says that it's only a few days into the school year and now she's struggling with these unexpected online classes.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'll be completely honest. I'm downstairs right now and I have my high schooler and my middle schooler trying to do homework, and he has not got his computer yet from school, so he's trying on his iPad. It's very, very hard to do it on the iPad.
The district announced that today is going to be another e-learning day for all students.
Right now, LifeShare Blood Center is running a campaign hoping to bring in Type O blood donors. Through September 9th, Type O donors will get a $25 gift card for giving blood. The organization says donations dropped 20% this summer, and both versions of this type are greatly needed. O positive is the most common blood type, and O negative is a universal donor.
And in other health news, earlier this week, we told you about the first ever at-home flu vaccine, and now we are getting all the details on it. Here's Mandy Gaither.
It's the only nasal spray flu vaccine in the U.S. FDA approved for use at home. Flu Mist Home can be self-administered by adults under 50 and can be given to children as young as 2.
It's delivered with cold packs in a cold chain shipping model, and actually one of the great steps is when you receive your dose, there's a temperature tag that gets scanned to ensure that it stayed in the right temperature throughout the entire shipping process and that it's safe and ready to use.
The vaccine nasal spray is now available for home delivery in 34 states. It can be ordered online after a brief medical screening questionnaire, which will be reviewed by a licensed healthcare provider before the vaccine is prescribed. It's covered by most commercial insurance companies with a fee of $8.99 for shipping and handling.
It's quite easy to administer. All they do is take it out of its packaging, put it into one nostril, spray the device, remove a clip from the middle, and then spray it into the other nostril.
Last flu season was unusually severe. Preliminary estimates from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggest that between October 2024 and May 2025, there were up to 82 million illnesses, 1.3 million hospitalizations, and 130,000 deaths from flu. At the same time, the CDC says less than half of kids and adults in the U.S. had gotten an annual flu vaccine.
Knowing that they can bring Flu Mist home right into their home and vaccinate on their schedule, the time they want, no waiting in line, makes it very manageable.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Still ahead on Daybreak on 12 News Plus, we all remember the Galveston hurricane of 1900, but another storm wiped out an entire town near Galveston 14 years earlier. We remember Indianola coming up. But first, Hurricane Aaron is a powerful reminder to prepare ahead of time. Experts weigh in, explaining how disaster preparedness is all in the details. It's 7:40.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue,
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers.
filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
ExxonMobil and lawyers for the United Steelworkers.
Taking on the story from all sides.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last year.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip, evacuating correctly. If local authorities advise you to evacuate, do so immediately and without delay. Bring your emergency kit and be sure to follow evacuation routes. Do not try to take shortcuts because they may be blocked. Also remember to eat and get enough sleep for you to deal with whatever stress that may come your way. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life. 12 News Hurricane Headquarters, sponsored by Entergy.
Hurricane Aaron is slowly making its way north through the Atlantic Ocean as a Category 2 storm. As rip currents and dangerous surf threaten much of the East Coast, North Carolina has declared a state of emergency. Mandatory evacuations are in effect for the Outer Banks, where tropical storm force winds and up to 4 feet of storm surge are expected. Oh, it's a time to make sure you're prepared for any disaster. Ivan Rodriguez explains why it's all in the details.
The impact of Hurricane Aaron is already being felt on U.S. coastlines. Around 90 rip current rescues were conducted in North Carolina Monday. In New Jersey, weather conditions are worsening. Although Aaron isn't forecast to make landfall, the strength of the storm serves as a reminder to prepare.
We always say when we talk about hurricanes, for example, don't wait until the storm warnings have been issued. It's too late.
Part of being prepared is building a kit of emergency supplies.
The toolkit doesn't need to be complex, but it should have specific things in there.
That includes medicine, critical documents, tools, at least a 3-day supply of food, as well as a hygiene and sanitation kit, according to FEMA. Mark Friedlander says another crucial piece is insurance.
Insurance is all about financial protection. So it's not just property insurance for your home, your condo, or your renter's policy if you're an apartment renter, but it's flood coverage.
Flooding isn't often covered in standard home insurance plans, so it's important to check your policy. Other ways to prepare your home before a storm include testing your shutters and securing your outdoor space.
The goal is to create a behavior to be prepared, not a reaction.
Speaking of being prepared, here's the latest on Hurricane Aaron. This is as of 7 o'clock. Winds are still at 100 miles an hour, moving to the north-northwest at about 13. It should stay well off the East Coast, but they do have some watches and warnings, especially out towards the Outer Banks there, as they're expecting some very high surf and some riptides there. And eventually it's going to make its way back out towards the north and east, out into the open Atlantic and weaken. But next couple of days, they're still expecting the winds to be up over 100 miles per hour as it works off towards the north and eventually off towards the north and east. Have a couple other things out in the Atlantic we're watching. This one that's come off the coast of Africa. Earlier this morning, they were only looking at about a 30% chance of formation. Now they've got about a 40% chance of formation there. And then this one here, about a 60% chance of formation. They're thinking this one's going to take about the same track as Aaron or stay out in the open Atlantic. The second one here, it's way out here, so we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to kind of figure out where it's going to go once it gets a little bit closer, but a little over a week away or so from coming into the Caribbean or the Gulf if it comes that way. But right now, we'll just continue to update you. As we look at forecast for today, we're expecting highs in the middle 90s. We're starting off, though, in the middle 70s. 75 in Kirbyville, 73 in Jasper, 77 Silsbee, Orange, and Port Arthur. As we look outside, you can see right now just a few clouds here and there. This is a camera from our 12 News studio, brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. As we check out radar, we do have a few showers that have developed off towards our north and east, and they're sliding off towards the south and west. Take a closer look at radar right now. Everything's very quiet, but you go just a little bit farther to the north, you can see those showers and thunderstorms. Like I said, they're working their way in that direction towards the south and west. So a few of these could maybe clip the lakes area. This one right here, right over Toledo Bend, definitely might clip the south end of Toledo Bend. So we'll be watching those through the morning. A couple of heavy downpours here and there. Futurecast takes us to the 80s this morning, lower to middle 90s for this afternoon. And watch what happens late in the afternoon. It really does show a lot of coverage as far as the showers and thunderstorms. We'll go 50% coverage for today. Overnight, maybe a couple of showers. We'll go 20-30% as we drop down into the 70s once again. So for today, 50% coverage, temperatures in the middle 90s. As we head towards tonight, we'll go with middle 70s with maybe a 20-30% coverage. And then our 70 forecast shows high rain coverages tomorrow at 60%, 40% on Friday. After that, drier air works in, and that's really going to shut our rain chances down to about 20% for the weekend into Monday and Tuesday. There'll be maybe a couple of days there where we don't see any rain. It could be zero, but I was too afraid to put a zero in there. It's been so long.
I know.
So, but we'll go 20% through the weekend, just isolated showers and hot.
Should have done it to get a reaction, see what we said.
Would have been a nice change.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Jeff. And just a reminder, you can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. And this morning we are highlighting a once thriving city on the Texas Gulf Coast that was literally wiped off the map by the fury of Mother Nature. This week in August of 1886, wow, I don't want to do the math on that, about 140 years ago, the town of Indianola, south of Galveston, or maybe that's Indianola, was devastated by a hurricane so strong that it was never rebuilt. It's interesting. It's just a little piece of Texas history that doesn't get much attention.
Yeah, it often falls in the shadows of the Galveston hurricane of 1900, the deadliest natural disaster to ever hit the U.S. Here's Bob Buckaloo.
The still waters of Matagorda Bay on the Texas Gulf Coast hold a secret of a once thriving town that was literally washed off the map by not one, but two deadly hurricanes. Indianola, Texas was a bustling port between Galveston and Corpus Christi in the 1800s. Indianola was the chief port through which European and American immigrants flowed into Texas. German, Polish, and Czech families arrived by steamship at Indianola from the 1840s through the 1880s. By the 1870s, Indianola had a population of 5,000 people. Then those still waters of the bay turned violent. A devastating hurricane in 1875 destroyed much of the town and killed hundreds. Indianola rebuilt, but a second hurricane in 1886 turned Indianola into a ghost town. Today, the foundation of the courthouse, seen in this old photo along with the main street, are buried in the water of the bay, which has crept further inland. Only a cemetery remains on dry land. A town that contributed to the rich history of immigration to Texas that showed such promise, lost to the waters and the storms of Matagorda Bay.
Learn something new every day. Well, check out this massive meteor that lit up the sky over Japan last night. Several surveillance cameras captured the spectacular sight. The sky went from black to a brilliant blue-green, and some say they felt the meteor enter the atmosphere. 7:50 right now. A couple of social media influencers spoke with our sister station in Houston after they walked away from a terrifying crash.
Yeah, the incident, it was caught on camera, and it happened while they were doing they were filming a food review video. Check this out. Wow, crazy video right there. They got they were so fortunate. Nina and Patrick, they were making that video there for their YouTube channel over the weekend at Cuvées Culinary Creations when their camera captured a driver crashing into the window right next to their table. They both suffered several cuts, but they are grateful that it wasn't any worse.
I have 3 staples in my back, 7 staples on my thigh, a few scratches on my forearms, and 1 on my chest and 1 on my face.
And stitches on your ear.
And stitches on my ear.
Yeah, so I have 3 stitches here. They're very minor, and then a butterfly stitch here, scratches on my face from the glass, and on my body. The bodily injury was so minimal compared to the psychological trauma. I don't know how we walked away from that the way we did.
So fortunate. Such crazy video here. No word on what caused the crash. The restaurant plans to reopen this week.
Kind of hard to even watch it like
Yes.
over and over because you don't think that they'll make it out alive the way you see that glass just really hit the guy the way it does.
Being in news, you know, there's been many times that we've gone out and covered vehicles that drive into buildings, and often they go right into those buildings. So, I mean, it was probably inches that it could have been a lot worse.
Right, yeah. All right, we'll have more news and weather next in your morning rush out.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
The impact killed my dad and brother instantly. A man, after drinking excessively with his coworkers, ran a stop sign, T-boned my parents' Honda, and destroyed our family. He could have just said, hey, I'm not okay. There's Lyft, there's Uber, there's taxis. There's so many other options. Every day, someone else can be taken away.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with some hurricane tips for protecting yourself against flooding. Take shelter in a designated storm shelter or an interior room and stay away from glass windows of doors. And if flooding begins, move to higher ground immediately. Never walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. Remember, turn around, don't drown. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy.
Welcome back to Daybreak. It's 7:54 right now, and it's time for your morning rush outs.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. A Vidor man has been arrested on child sex crime charges. According to an arrest affidavit, Edward Hoffman sent child pornography to an undercover Montgomery County Sheriff's Office detective in June. Investigators traced his digital footprint back to Orange County. He was arrested by Orange Police the same day. Authorities say his 2 victims are younger than 7.
Frozen shrimp sold in 13 states, including Texas. They're being recalled as they may be radioactive. They are sold at Walmart, and after Celsium 137, that radioactive element was detected in shipping containers and frozen shrimp products at 4 U.S. ports. The FDA says that if you recently bought Great Value brand raw frozen shrimp from Walmart, throw it away. The best buy date is March of 2027.
LifeShare Blood Center is running a campaign to bring in Type O blood donors. Through September 9th, Type O donors will get a $25 gift card for giving blood. The organization says donations dropped 20% this summer, and both versions of this type are greatly needed. O positive is the most common blood type, and O negative is a universal donor.
Keep the umbrella handy. We have a 50% coverage of scattered showers and thunderstorms today with temperatures in the middle 90s, 60% coverage of rain as we head towards Thursday, and then a 40% coverage on Friday. So each day we'll see those scattered showers and thunderstorms. But look at the weekend. We knock our rain chances in half there from Friday, 20% into Monday and Tuesday as well. This is some isolated showers at best for the weekend, so outdoor plans will be okay. It's going to be hot though with those highs in the middle 90s.
All right, Jeff, before we go, take a look at this video right here. A Florida couple, they're in disbelief after a home invasion. The culprits, a whole bunch of raccoons, 8 of them, in fact.
Oh my God.
They ate all the cat food and turned over all the water bowls. They even tried to throw a real rager.
They were having a party. There was several of them on the step right there. Wow. There was several of them in the jacuzzi just splashing around. The 3 of them in the jacuzzi splashing around.
Raccoons do not care. They apparently got in through their pet doors, so just another reason to keep those locked up at night.
8 raccoons?
They're having a party.
Crazy.
I would have gotten the jacuzzi too.
Yeah. I bet you would have. Splashing around.
All right. Thanks so much for watching Daybreak on 12 News Plus.
We'll be back at 11 a.m. for midday.
Have a great day, everybody.